Healing through visualization. We come now to an opportunity for every Chela of the Masters to assist in the work of the new day, the fullness of which has not yet dawned upon their outer consciousness. We, however, are deeply aware of the future service each student may render in the cause of freedom to the earth, and through the upraised consciousness of the aspiring one, we shall endeavor to assist in every possible way through counsel, radiation, and application on his behalf. The following little episode taken from my memory book may be of help to someone struggling with bodily handicaps, for it must be remembered that we, the Liberated Brothers, also walked the earth in the more or less distant past and wrestled with the limitations of human consciousness and personal karma, even as humanity is doing today. Once in a long ago embodiment, my travels took me through parts of Russia and Siberia where sanitation and hygiene were unknown commodities. One of my feet had become frostbitten, and I had only a knotted rag to keep my flesh from the sharp, frozen ground. One night, as I lay groaning in a peasant's hut in close proximity to some pigs, an odoriferous goat or two, and some chattering human beings of little spiritual or intellectual comfort, the smoke from the flueless fireplace filling the room, adding to the general chaos and discomfort, my foot and leg assumed larger and more important proportions in my consciousness with each throb of blood through my veins. I had been receiving certain instructions from a master whom I had visited in the flesh and who was able, when necessity required, to project his thought and directions toward me. Suddenly, through my unhappy thought, there passed a ray which was like a commanding hand silencing my human thinking. I realized he was trying to reach me and composed myself as best I could emotionally. Then the familiar relaxation in my feelings told me he was near. He did not speak, but literally projected into my mind a picture of the most beautiful pair of feet I had ever seen, either with the inner or outer vision. Underneath the feet there seemed to be what looked like twin suns, one under each arch, that poured up in rays through them, the whole picture reminding me of the action of God moving across the face of the earth in His name. I became so interested in this vision that the room, the external environment, everything faded away. Afterwards, I realized that he was impressing the perfection of those feet into my mind, my feelings, and through the visual sense into the substance of my physical body as well. Finally, after what seemed hours of contemplation on just 2 feet, he spoke. "These are the feet which God endowed you with in the beginning. Use them." With that, his ray withdrew, and the vision vanished, but I was able to recall it at will, and I began to superimpose those God feet over the poor manifestations which I had humanly created, until finally my physical feet began to express the perfection of that inner vision. In that embodiment, I succeeded to a great extent in perfecting my feet until they represented what looked to me like a fair replica of those heavenly feet that I saw in my vision on that cold night in the peasant's hut. In later embodiments, I was set to completing the task, and would you believe it? At the time of my ascension, when my presence was revealed to me in its fullness, the first thing I became aware of was the feet, and then the rest of the glorious self. According to the cosmic law, this is backward. But it shows the tremendous impression that visualization makes on the consciousness, and in turn that consciousness makes on the flesh. It is more difficult for an individual to conjure up a vision of the perfection of the presence than it is to have the master direct that perfect vision into the outer consciousness. But if you will call on me or any other master, we will help you to hold a perfect picture of the presence in your mind. And no matter what part of the body needs assistance, if you will see with your mind's eye that particular portion of your physical body transmuted into the perfect body of the Christ Self, you will have the same results that I had with my frostbitten feet. The whole secret of healing lies in the visualization. Substituting the perfection of your own Christ Self for the poor human manifestation. Try this both for yourself and others, and let us rejoice together at the perfect result.